Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and cover my review process, or what do I do to get reviews ready. The reason I'm doing this is simply because it's been requested many times actually, and I've realized that I haven't actually done a full video like this, and I've just sprinkled it in many of my reviews basically. So I figure with this, people can go ahead and refer to it and know exactly how I review fragrances. And if it's not your cup of tea, you know, that's perfectly fine. There are many other reviewers out there, but I just wanted to explain what my process is. So let's go ahead and start with my overall philosophy. Now, I personally approach fragrances in a very specific way. And the specific way is, I think everyone's opinion matters. So I don't think that my opinion is greater than yours or any other reviewers. I think we're all equal, because at the end of the day, it really depends on your own nose what you think about it. A lot of times people will shift and say, oh, absolutely, this is a better fragrance, or this is the best fragrance. You know, at the end of the day, they're only able to do that for themselves. You can never say definitively that fragrance X is better than fragrance Y. Why? You can say a fragrance X is more expensive. You can just say fragrance X is, you know, darker, or whatever the case may be. But fragrances are highly subjective, right? They're highly subjective. One man's gold is another man's crap, basically. Some people will absolutely love, let's say, Bleu de Chanel. Other people will think that it smells like crap. Ultimately, there are going to be more people who like a smell compared to others, but you get what I mean. It's subjective. So my goal out of my reviews is to bring some objectivity to that subjectiveness, but at the same time, not completely abandoning being subjective. So I want to give you some cold hard facts with the fragrance, how much it costs, where you can get it, overall, what are the notes, and then I'm going to start giving you some subjection. You know, what does it smell like? How long does it last on my skin? What do I think of it? When do I think I can wear it? When do I think I can, or you know, all the categories pretty much that I go through. Where do I think I can wear it? I'll give you that. That's all subjective. That's not all set in stone. That's stuff that, you know, is purely subjective. Sorry about the train. So that's essentially what I want to do. I want people to walk away from my review with at least a decent understanding of the fragrance, and then be able to decide whether or not they want to go ahead and try it out themselves. Because at the end of the day, I'm still just giving you what my opinion is. If it's crap, you know, by all means, I'll completely understand that you may not agree with me, and so just toss it out the window, right? So that's how I feel about that. That's my overall thoughts on it. So next, the next thing I wanted to cover is how I actually review. So how I review is very simple. I take the same approach for many fragrances. I wear a fragrance 7 different times, and each time with varying degrees. So one time I'll go light on the sprays, another time I'll go heavy on the sprays, another time I'll go medium on the sprays, or what I think should be right with the sprays. I'll wear it at night, I'll wear it during the day, I'll wear it to work. Those are the 3 things that I definitely will do. Now, unless one thing I can't do, on the other hand, is wear it during every season. So a lot of times when I give my season guess, it's not necessarily a guess, but it's more my feel for what season it'll actually go through, just because I don't wait a full year to test the whole fragrance from end to end, basically, for it. So that's how I kind of do it. I spray it. I also do another thing by spraying it at different parts of my body, but overall, 7 different times is what I do with it. And while I'm spraying it, I actually, on my iPhone, I've got a little app basically that I go ahead and record down my thoughts are on a particular fragrance that I'm wearing, how long it's lasting, as I actually smell myself and have people smell me to see if the fragrance is gone, if the smell is gone, or whatever the case may be, and kind of record my thoughts down on it, you know, every single day and every single time. I'm carrying samples around with me, and almost every single time I've got a sample in my pocket, just because if something ends, then I want to be able to spray another sample on after, you know, I've showered, or whatever the case may be, you know, usually at the gym or something like that, so that I can immediately keep testing. So I'm always in a state of testing, if you will. And it's very rare for me to actually be able to truly enjoy the fragrances that I like. I generally, my process is generally to Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to dive into that because it really depends on the day, on how I'm testing and where I'm testing, as opposed to when I'm wearing an actual fragrance that you see in like my top 10 lists. Okay. Another thing is how I actually review is based heavily on not how I review. I actually just kind of got confused there for a second, but I also review primarily on samples now. I do a mix between samples and bottles, but I review primarily on samples. And the reason is simple. I began to notice that a lot of reviewers were reviewing positive. If you look on YouTube, the vast majority of reviews are positive reviews. There are a lot of fragrances out there, and there is a lot of crap out there. The reason most fragrance reviews are positive is a simple fact. You won't buy something, or most people don't buy something that they don't like. So it stands to reason that most people are going to have fragrances that they like. Basically, they purchase fragrances that they like, and they're going to go ahead and review them. So I thought that was a little bit disingenuous, and I wanted not disingenuous in a bad thing, but I mean disingenuous to the overall public, in that they're only getting the positive reviews of fragrances and not the negative reviews, because a negative review to me is just as useful as a positive review. And I say that knowing that there are some reviewers who are able to get around this fact, because whether financially, whatever the case may be, they're able to get fragrances that they don't like and give them bad reviews, basically. So I think that's that's all well and done. I don't have the financial means to do that. My situation's changed over a couple of years. Now I'm starting to have to worry about a family, savings, house, wedding, just so much stuff basically, and I can't afford it. And so all of these factors you throw in, and you also couple the fact that, okay, somebody sees a bottle on the video, I can still give that same thing by giving them a picture in the video. Then I figured, you know what, I actually think it's a good idea to switch to samples. I'm not breaking my bank. I can go ahead and touch upon a wider range of fragrances, and that's what I do. So samples are becoming more of a thing that I incorporate into my reviews to use, basically. Now, I require about 5 milliliters in order to do my testing. So that generally means 2 of those little sample vials that you see. I believe each one was 2.5 milliliters. So I generally need 2 of those, and that gives me enough juice to go through those 7 wearings, basically. And that's pretty much all I need. So that's how I do it. Now, again, if you don't think, there are some people who think that you need the bottle in order to review. I completely disagree. But if that's your prerogative, I'm not for you then. My results are tainted, if you will. But I found no difference between the bottle and samples at all. So that's how I do things. So I've switched over. I've actually sold a lot of my fragrances now at this point. So we'll see how things go. But either way, that's pretty much my review process. Now, categories are always a tricky thing, because I want to give enough so that people know what the fragrance is, but I don't want to inundate them with so much information that my review becomes long. I have a target, basically, length of videos that I like it to be at this point. I like it be between 5 and 10 minutes for my reviews. And I don't want it to go longer. And once you start adding in other things to list off about the fragrance outside of what I have right now, then you start obviously getting into a longer review. People start dropping off and stuff like that. So that's essentially my review process. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free, leave a note down below. If you have anything that you can think about to change my reviews, feel free, leave it down below. Except for the video quality. Video quality I am working on. It's been a work in progress. I'm actually going to be getting a specific camcorder, basically, and just end it all. I've been fooling around with cameras, and that's just the wrong way to go, and I think a camcorder is going to be much better. So we'll see what happens for Christmas, but the video quality will improve, all right? But that's my process. Let me know what your thoughts are, any ways to improve. I'm always looking to improve, so leave them down below. That's pretty much it, all right? Thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.